Hello and welcome to Between the 20s. We are here and very excited to be bringing you our Super Bowl preview. But before that, got to check in my two favorite guys. Amir, we'll start with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Week out from the Super Bowl. Big news coming in from the NFL as well at the same time. So a lot to be excited about in terms of football.
And the big news from the NFL is
The Jared Goff swap for Matt Stafford.
That is right.
Come on, Mike.
No, that is. I thought you meant. I felt like you meant something coming from just directly from the league. But yes, big NFL news in general. Yeah. Bryce, how about you? What's going on?
I'm good. I just can't wait for the Super Bowl. It's going to be another fun one. Everything's starting to heat up. Hockey's in full swing. Basketball's in full swing. Spring training's coming up in about a month. A little less for some teams. It's a fun time to be a sports fan again.
Trevor Bauer still unsigned as of yet. George Springer did not sign with the Mets, which was a little.
He did not sign with the Mets, no.
But,
and Tanaka goes back to Japan.
That is true. That was interesting. I saw the alert that Tanaka will no longer be a Yankee, and then I was wondering where he went, and I looked it up, and he was back to Japan.
Japan.
Not a bad trip to the U.S. though. Come over for a few years, make about $100 million or so, and then just I'm going right back. I wish that was the case when I went to Chicago, but alas, that's it.
Made this podcast, which worth way more than $100 million.
That's true. This is true. So to start off, this is a little segment I thought of, and I now realize why I thought of it as well. We're going to talk about how excited you are for the Super Bowl on a scale of 1 to 10. We'll start down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Bryce, how excited are you for the Super Bowl? We have no Panthers, unfortunately, but alas.
And certainly no Giants either.
That's true.
As the Eagles gypped them out of a playoff spot. But
yeah, because you guys were going to make it after even if you won that game.
6-10 was a playoff spot this year. Could have been. But I know I just said it should be a good one. My excitement level is relatively tempered this year, mainly because I'm just frustrated. We're seeing a 10th Tom Brady Super Bowl all in our lifetime. You know what? Hats off to him. I know we did our video a couple months ago at this point, about best quarterbacks of all time. I might start changing my tune on Tom Brady a little bit. Kudos to him, but my excitement level is probably closer to a 3 or a 4. It's always fun to watch Patrick Mahomes, but I really did want to see Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers duel it out.
All right, we have some sour grapes at the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, you got a number on that, a 1 to 10 rating?
Yeah, we also need a rating.
3 to 4.
3 to 4. What the heck?
I'm not particularly excited for this one.
All right, we're getting a little low on the thermometer there. And that is with the impending snowstorm in New York City. So, Amir, how about you? Obviously, we have a guy who's rooted for Tom Brady for New England. It seems as though, by the name of his fantasy team, the Tampa Bay Bandwagoners, which is very creative, he's still interested in watching Tom Brady. Are you, though? Can you confirm?
Yeah. Oh, I was almost going to hammer like a 12 out of 10 on this one for the excitement level, but my Patriots aren't in it, so I'm tempering it a little bit. I'm bringing it down to a 9.6 out of 10.
Wow.
I'm very excited about this game. You got old GOAT versus the upcoming quote-unquote new GOAT, although who knows if he'll ever catch up. Could be a last ride for Tom Brady. Who knows? You got the explosive Chiefs offense. You got a good Bucs defense and all that, all those weapons on the Bucs offense. So I think looking at an awesome game.
There you go. Very well done. Very interesting. All right, boys, let me try to. So honestly, I don't know why. I love Tom Brady, and I find the Chiefs very interesting, but I'm just not that excited for this game in general. The football game. So the football game, I'd say by itself, it's like for me, 7.3. A little tempered, pretty. For Super Bowl, it's 7.3. But there is another factor.
I know what you're gonna say.
My man Eric Church is doing the national anthem. Very excited about, and this is just on the heels of him saying that he's going to release a triple album in April. I already pre-ordered it, thankfully, as a member of the church choir. That's exciting. So that's going to bump it up another 1.5. I'm at 8.8 here for the Super Bowl. And then, but after the national anthem ends, I guess I might fall asleep. I might heat up some empanadas, as we were just talking about. Not too. I mean, football, we can give or take that part. I might
big
actually
game day food empanadas, Mike.
Maybe pause it and watch it on a little tape delay. Skip the commercials. Then again, it's the Super Bowl, so you got to watch.
Super Bowl. It's all about the commercials, Mike.
I know. It was not exciting for me anymore. When I was a kid, it was exciting to sit and watch the commercials and I'm old now. I'm really not that excited. Just
You've always been old at heart, Mike. Don't worry.
this is true.
You're
I
just
came
catching up.
out of the womb at 40. That's what they say. All right, now that we're done with the excitement level, and we all have obviously varying levels of excitement for a few different reasons, we're gonna bring our football. We're gonna put our football expert tinfoil hats on here, and we're gonna say, where are we predicting for the winner and the score? That's where we'll start with our first question. With that, we'll go down to North Carolina. Bryce, who do you see winning the Super Bowl, and by what score?
I don't see any way the Tampa Bay defense can really come out and stop Patrick Mahomes. The secondary has been suspect at times. Guys like Jamel Dean haven't been the greatest cornerbacks, and I think Patrick Mahomes is going to expose them. And the Kansas City defense is better than we give them credit for. So I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game by a score of 31-20. Relatively high scoring affair, but Chiefs win by a pretty wide margin.
Oh, so the same scores last year. Okay.
Was that really the
Interesting.
score last year?
What's the score last year?
20 last year, yeah.
Bryce is a big believer in statistics, so if it happened last year at that score,
Bound to happen again.
it's bound to happen. And it's just a 50-50
Everything's
shot.
50-50. It happens or it doesn't.
It's a 50-50 shot. It is or it isn't. So he's just playing the probabilities.
Yeah, 50-50, it's 31-20. 50-50, any other score. In existence
Exactly.
right there.
That's how it works.
It's statistics.
50-50. The winning is close to 50-50. Who's your winner, at least?
Oh, man. I keep going back and forth on this game. I think Bucs defense showed last week that they can really make it tough on opposing quarterbacks, and especially in the opposing running game. But last time these two teams played, the Chiefs started really fast, had a huge first quarter, and then the Bucs kind of slowly came back to make that kind of a close game. But that game was never really that close last time these two teams played. So my head wants me to pick the Chiefs, but I don't know, something in here, just it's Tom Brady, man. You know, this guy has 6 rings on 6 game-winning drives. This guy gets it done, man. He can, in the fourth quarter, he can just, I don't know, there's something about him. He's got that special sauce. He's got that extra, you want to call it intangibles, you want to call it whatever you want to call it. He's got it. So I'm gonna roll with the Patriots, man. I'm gonna roll with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the NFC Patriots. Man, I'm rolling with Tom Brady. I'm going 24-27. I'm going Bucks.
27-24.
27-24. Bucks.
Well, the Bucs are technically the home team. I mean, if you really want to break it down here, first ever team to be playing in the Super Bowl in which their stadium is hosting it.
Yeah.
We're very excited.
I'm there with a 3-point spread there. Do you see a game-winning drive again?
I do.
Wow.
Some theatrics.
Could be down 4 with a touchdown at the end, or tie game 24 with the game-winning field goal. Who knows?
So when it comes down to, I'm a little confused by this Super Bowl because I feel like the Chiefs, if you asked me at the beginning of the season, this was going to be the Super Bowl, who do you think was going to win? The Bucs were intriguing because they had all these new pieces, but the Chiefs were like machines. You had the Chiefs throughout the span of this year, never really, they were 14-2 and really 14-1 with a game at the end that really didn't matter against the Chargers. But like, they were a team that faced the Broncos. They didn't blow the Broncos out of the water. But last year's Chiefs, I feel, would have won in there, taking care of business, and won by 21 points. But this year's Chiefs, they don't have that same dominance. And on the other hand, you have a team that, like I always like to quote, they lost 38-3 to the Saints in a game that everybody was hyping up. I think they would have been hyper-focused for. So that leaves me in a very interesting spot here. Very confused as to who to pick. I think in the end, though, I'm going to come down to who I think the narrative here. What narrative is the NFL trying to frame for us?
Are you thinking this game's fixed, Mike? Is that
no, not fixed. But I'm just trying to think. What's my heart telling me? Like Amir said, I guess that's where I'm trying to go. And I feel like it's going to be the Bucs. I feel like it's a Tom Brady can prove it in Tampa Bay. We're going to see a lot of Patrick Mahomes. You don't want that Patrick Mahomes fatigue. I think Brad Stevens had a great quote the other day where he said, I think LeBron should be a multi-time more MVP winner, but people are just bored talking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like people would have that feeling about Patrick Mahomes if he didn't lose this Super Bowl.
Do you not think people have that already with Tom Brady?
No, because I feel like Tom Brady is won by far enough. He lost twice to the Giants, thanks to great play from Big Blue. But I feel that the Bucs are going to win this just because the Chiefs have been showing you all year that they aren't that dominant force anymore. That they aren't really that team, and that's why I think it's kind of opening the door for the Bucs to come in. And then next year, I think the Chiefs are going to come in with a vengeance, and they'll be a tough team to beat next year, I'd say. But yes, I'm going to agree with the Bucs. I'm going to say it is going to be a high scoring game. I'm going to go 31-24 Buccaneers. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Field goal
So
on each
Mike,
side.
you picked the Chiefs a couple weeks ago going into the playoffs, and now you're switching.
Well, they're the Bucs. They're going up against the opponent. We got a concrete game here.
Okay.
In my previous bracket, I didn't have this matchup occurring, obviously.
Just pointing it out. Just
thanks for pointing out the hypocritical nature. I'm
Mhm.
radically open-minded, as my
Mhm.
brother would
Yep.
say. Steal one of his lines. Radically open-minded, willing to change my mind all the time. But with that, we are going to pick a Super Bowl MVP. And I think this should be pretty straightforward based on our picks. But Bryce, we'll start with you. Who do you think is going to be Super Bowl MVP? Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill?
So
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell.
the obvious answer is Patrick Mahomes, right? But as you guys said with Tom Brady, it's just kind of boring talking about it. So I'm gonna throw something out there that I think really could happen. I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce. I think if the Chiefs do win this game, Travis Kelce has to show up. And I'm really seeing, 10 plus catches, 150 yards, multiple touchdowns. I think he can, if I'm not mistaken, be the first tight end to win Super Bowl MVP. He really is a special talent. And if the Chiefs can overcome that leadership of Tom Brady and that championship pedigree, of course, Travis Kelce, I think, is going to have to be the guy, and he's going to have to be a force in this game. So if the Chiefs do, in fact, win, I'm going to go with Travis Kelce as the dark horse, shall we say.
Oh,
MVP
so it is
candidate.
Travis Kelce. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amir, who are you picking as your Super Bowl MVP? Levante David?
Yeah, so there are a couple guys that could do it. Of course, Tom Brady's, if the Bucs win, Tom Brady's the clear favorite. Obviously, quarterback for the winning team generally wins it. But this team this season has kind of been led by their defense. Last week they played awesome. Week before they forced a couple picks from Drew Brees and a couple turnovers. So look maybe at Levante David, maybe Devin White. Devin White's always a beast. That linebacking core is really good. But I think that the defense is so well rounded, especially with the front seven, that it's going to be tough to kind of single out one guy. So I'm still gonna rock with the favorite. I'm gonna rock with Tom Brady.
So I'm really going front seven, and then Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just agree with Tom Brady here. I feel like it's gonna be his last Super Bowl victory. I feel like he's gonna go out on a high note. That's the way I feel about this game. So I like the narrative of the Bucs winning. This was my heart's telling me, and then I feel like Tom Brady is gonna win it there, just to fulfill that narrative. Any other comments, boys, before we log off for the day? Anything you're looking forward to in particular?
Gonna be a good game.
Just down the line, and this is now looking a couple years down the line. Looking back at last week, I'm excited to see the AFC for years to come, because the Chiefs and the Bills, they're going to be the new Patriots and Colts. It's going to be them battling it out for years. That is going to be an exciting tandem.
Hey, don't forget the Ravens. Young quarterback Lamar Jackson. The Browns are coming. Young quarterback Baker Mayfield.
Forget the Ravens. I could buy into the Browns. I could definitely buy into the Browns. Forget the Ravens.
Man, you're underrating the Ravens, man.
I'm not.
It was a close game against the Bills. One poor pass, then that game's tied. One pass.
17-3.
Yeah,
It was 10-3, and then Lamar Jackson threw a bad pick pick six.
It's still part of the game.
It's one play. Look, I'm not saying the Ravens deserve to win, but that game was closer than it looked.
That being, Josh Allen's still only going to get better, and the Bills did not look good against the Chiefs. That's going to be a learning game. That is going to be a learning game, and the Bills will be back. Oh, I'm excited for the AFC for years. The NFC, I don't even know. The elder statesmen are getting older. Brees is going to be gone. Brady is going to be gone
potentially
soon,
gone.
probably. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers might not be in the NFC in a couple of years. Who knows?
Jared Goff,
the NFC is wide open.
They're gonna lead the NFC.
Matthew Stafford could change the NFC West. He absolutely could change the NFC West.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He's good.
Keeping the Seahawks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's wide open. I just mean
You're
we're gonna
naming all
have-
these elder statesmen that are going out. I'm trying to counter the point here.
And of course, the
Fair enough,
elephant in the
fair
room,
enough.
where's Deshaun Watson going to land? Because that team
Where
will
does Deshaun
most likely
Watson go?
become at least a playoff contender, if not an immediate Super Bowl contender.
Something
Slow
about
your
that
roll
drinking
because he
water.
might want to go to the Jets. Going to the.
I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
cool
see
my
it.
Jets on
I
that
don't
one if he
see it.
goes to the Jets.
Bryce
I don't know,
Cleveland, his Jets.
On the Jets. But I'd sooner see him going to the Dolphins.
Something
to
about
be
that drinking
perfectly
water
honest.
in Houston. You have James Harden just wanting out, and then you got Deshaun Watson wanting out, liking a bunch of Jets pictures on Instagram. or
JJ
whatever.
Watt.
JJ Watt
JJ
wants
Watt
out too?
Getting out of
Yeah,
here.
JJ Watt wants out.
When was this?
A couple days ago.
Offseason, man, yeah.
Oh, I did not
The-
see this.
The prevailing belief is that JJ Watt has put his last game for the Texans.
I did not know this.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like the Texans are going to be starting from scratch again without their first round pick, unless they get it back from the Dolphins.
Which they will hopefully get at least one first round pick for this. Bill
Well,
O'Brien's not
no
no
Bill
that team
O'Brien.
anymore, yeah.
If you follow the Rockets, you can get a fantastic haul for a player who wants out for some reason in the most confusing trade of all time for me.
Oh, the Nets gave up so much.
Oh,
They
God.
gave up everything.
But they're an immediate finals contender. If they get a championship, it's all worth it.
That's no way. No way. You have to sit through being the Knicks for the next 7 years.
No. If you get a chip, it's worth it, guys. If
I'm
you gotta
I'm
take
they
the
still got to
ball
deal
in.
with the Celtics, the Heat, and the Bucks. I'm sorry, you gave up your best
The
defender.
Heat are
in
not
Jared
good
Allen.
this year.
Yeah, I do not buy into the Heat hype.
The Sixers are
But
good.
I just want to know how that trade discussion goes. It's like at that when they finally decided that the deal was the deal. Was it the Nets who said, "Oh no, we don't want to give you that last first round pick / swap," or was it the Rockets who said, "Oh, we want one more"? And nobody thought like, maybe this isn't a great idea in the Nets side. And then Sean Marks had been talking about building a culture, and then he just shipped it right out.
Steve Nash, baby.
Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni, who apparently Mike D'Antoni, I've heard reports that Mike D'Antoni told the Nets brass that he didn't want James Harden again.
Oh, no way.
I've heard this.
no
I've
way.
heard this. It's
James Harden is the perfect guy for the D'Antoni system. Like
it's
he's
rumors floating.
He's the guy.
Well, he's the assistant.
7
there.
seconds or
that's-
less.
Yeah. Anyway, we've somehow wandered off into basketball here. But we're all very excited for the Super Bowl, and you all have our
Except for
predictions.
Bryce.
Except for
Well, okay. Let me quantify this statement a little bit. Super Bowl is automatically a 7 or 8 on excitement. I'm going to watch. I'm going to enjoy it. But on the Super Bowl scale, this is like a 3.5.
That's fair. Well, for me, it's high.
Hey, if we were all hanging out in person, how high would that meter go?
that would be it'd be a 10. It would be
Much higher.
much higher. All right, and that will wrap us up for this week. Always like, subscribe, check us out in all of our other videos, and until next time, we hope that you have a good one.